All right, so we got the crypto call for September 21st, 2021, and I'm going to quickly just go through what a blockchain is and what Bitcoin is for the new folk, and then we'll get into some Q&A. So, as you see on my screen, common questions. Basically, that's what people want to know. What is Bitcoin? What's the blockchain? You know, will my coin get stolen? All that good stuff. So we're going to do a quick overview to answer those questions. So a blockchain is simple as that. It is literally a chain of blocks in sequential order. So the Bitcoin blockchain looks like this if you were to make a diagram. You have block 0, which would be the first block. And in that block, you have a timestamp and you have all the information that's in that block, which is essentially all the transactions. So if I was to send Bitcoin to Mike Shine, that would be a transaction. That transaction, in order to be recorded and processed, needs to essentially be part of a block. And when a block is produced, or when a block is essentially, processed, that's when your transaction gets processed as well. And within that, there's confirmations. And after X amount of confirmations, a block is produced. We won't get into the details of confirmations, but that's what verifies transactions, confirmations within a block. So as you see, you have block 0, block 1, and in block 1, you'll see there's a hash, which is the red text, and that hash is basically what identifies that block. Beneath that, you'll see previous hash in yellow in block 1. That's referring to block 0, and that is essentially what the chain is. That's that simple. It is literally just block after block, and the chain is created by referring to the prior hash, and that's what links it all and keeps it validated. Because if you have a block that has a hash that does not sync up with the prior hash, it basically will be an invalid block. It won't be validated by miners or validators in the case of other blockchains. Like Cardano and Hive that operate a little different than Bitcoin. So now decentralized is a big word in crypto, and all that means is instead of there being like one central computer, you have computers all over the world running the Bitcoin blockchain. So Google does this in essence. This is why you can be anywhere in the world and search something on Google and get a response in a fraction of a second. They have servers all over the world, except for Google. Google controls all those, so it's centralized. This is decentralized because anyone essentially can run a Bitcoin node and try and be a Bitcoin miner. So a node is basically what is the full blockchain ledger. Like look at like Bitcoin as a ledger. So that whole blockchain is essentially processed on a computer, which they just say, it's a node. So if you're running a node, you're essentially running the Bitcoin blockchain and you're trying to mine Bitcoin. So since anyone can do it, you have people all over the world running it, and maybe they win a block and earn some Bitcoin, and maybe they don't. But that's really what makes it decentralized. It's just no single entity is running the chain. It is power of the people, essentially. So in these links here, you can basically just see how many nodes are running at any time. There's over 10,000 nodes running. And then this GitHub is a site where you can literally get the ledger. Like you can get the whole Bitcoin programming, because all this stuff is open source. There's no like proprietary technology. And that, again, lends to the decentralization. So what is a Bitcoin wallet? A Bitcoin wallet is simply just a string of letters and numbers that are particular to you. So with that wallet, you're able to essentially send digital money, which is what Bitcoin is, to and from. So when you see your Bitcoin wallet address, that is basically the address you share with people. That would be like sharing your email. It's something where you make it public and people can send Bitcoin to it, but that's all that really can happen with it. Like you're not sending Bitcoin from your wallet using that address. Like that's your receive address. Like that's your wallet address. It identifies your wallet and it gives people the address they need to send you Bitcoin. So types of wallets, there are what are known as hard wallets and soft wallets, or hot and cold. Basically, a soft wallet or a hot wallet is a software-based wallet. It's either a software that you can download on your computer, or it's a web-based wallet where you can, just do a plug-in on like Google Chrome, and those would be examples. And obviously, those are easier to use, much easy to access, as opposed to a cold wallet, which is generally a hardware device, like basically Trezor is one of the most popular ones. It's physically like a actual device that you plug in with a USB. So you can take it completely offline. And obviously that's the safest way to store crypto. And, Bitcoin amongst other coins you can put on cold wallets like the Trezor Razor or the Ledger. If you have your wallet on an exchange like Coinbase, like most people use Coinbase to buy some Bitcoin or buy some other crypto. If you leave it on Coinbase, essentially it's in a hot wallet because you have access to it all the time. But you technically don't completely control that. Like Coinbase controls that wallet. Like you use their service to, move funds around, but you don't own the keys to the wallet. And that's the next point, wallet keys. So the term "not your keys, not your coins" is very popular in the crypto world. And that's because if you don't own the keys to a wallet, then you don't have full control of your cryptocurrency in theory. So a lot of purists are very much on the "not your keys, not your coins." So when it comes to keys, there's essentially two keys. One's a public key, which is basically related to your wallet address. And that's what gives you the ability to, receive funds to your wallet. The private key, now this is a little different. This basically you should look at as your password. A private key is what you need to input if you want to spend or send your Bitcoin anywhere else. So your private key, keep to yourself. Don't share that, just like you wouldn't share your online banking password. And also keep it somewhere safe, because if you lose it, well, that's kind of makes things a pain in the butt. Because then you can't do transactions unless you re-import your wallet with a seed phrase. So I always mention the seed phrase, or quote unquote secret phrase, because this is the end all be all. If you lose access to your wallet, if your laptop dies, if you lose a computer, whatever it is, you're not, up the creek without a paddle, because you can just import that same type of wallet onto your new computer, and you would use your seed phrase to essentially pull all of your crypto off the blockchain. So like you would pull your Bitcoin off the blockchain, because again, the blockchain has all the information. It's linked back in history. So what's on the blockchain stays on the blockchain. So you don't lose your Bitcoin. You just need to essentially re-import it. So that's what the seed phrase does to you if you have, a switch where you have to like put a wallet on a new machine. So use the same type wallet, put in your seed phrase, boom, it'll come all back in. An example of that is right here. So this screenshot is of Exodus, which is a software wallet I use because it supports a ton of different cryptocurrencies. And when you open a wallet with them, you get these 12 random words. That's your seed phrase. You need to save that, and you need to save the order of the words. So that's something that like I literally print out and put in my safe. So I have it just in case. And, I used it, what was that? About 10, 11 months ago when I got a new laptop, and I wanted to obviously import all my crypto that I had on my Exodus wallet. So that is the quick and dirty of what wallets are, what the blockchain is, and obviously Bitcoin, which we know at this point is, a digital currency.
So is that your seed phrase?
What's up?
Was that your seed phrase?
No.
Are you sure? Go back.
That's hilarious. No, this is a random example. That is not my seed phrase. This is an example I pulled, I think, it might have been off of Exodus as their example. So, but if it was my seed phrase, it would be a wallet that has nothing in it that I don't use. Ron. So anyway, how to buy cryptocurrency. Coinbase is the easiest way, and I can drop this into chat. A little copy paste. Actually, I might be able to just copy link. Yep. I'll drop that in the chat. Oh man, I got a bunch of people in the waiting room. I thought I hit admit to all these people. Oops. That's too funny. Welcome people that were in the waiting room. I did not see you in there. My apologies. So yeah, that's the quick and dirty that some people might have just missed. Thought we had everybody. Perfect. It's 1:45. So Q&A time. Who has questions?
I'm a little confused. Can you send me one Bitcoin?
Sure, Ron. I will send you a Bitcoin. Why not? I'm rich like that. Not so much.
How do you decide between the thousands of coins out there?
It's funny you mentioned that. I actually have that in the forefront of my head because, as you know, I hustled to finish up the wonderful little booklet, the crypto book, and in that I did a chapter on like how to choose a coin, right? And the easiest thing to do is go to coinmarketcap.com, right? And then there you get a list of actually, I think there's more than 100, but you can see easily the top 100 coins in terms of market cap, right? It's a good place to start. Doesn't mean you have to only do coins that are in the top 100 market cap. But what I'll do is I'll look at that and I'll find what's the use case. What does the coin do? What's the purpose of it? Because if it doesn't have a use case, then what's the demand for it? And as we know, everything comes down to supply and demand in the end. Like everything, whether it's real estate, whether it's crypto, whether it's like supply and demand. So what's going to drive demand for that coin? And for instance, this is why people like Ethereum, right? Ethereum's got smart contracts. In order to transact on Ethereum, you need to pay a gas fee, right? So it's one thing to just like buy and sell Ethereum. Great, that produces gas fee, it eats up Ethereum. But with smart contracts, you have other projects building on the Ethereum platform, right? They're building businesses on the Ethereum platform. And now every time you want to do a transaction in that business, you have to pay a gas fee, right? And that gas fee essentially costs Ethereum, which gets burned. So that's a use case, a clear use case in regards to Ethereum and why there's a demand side and why you can even have deflation, so to speak, in that you could have more Ethereum being spent, quote unquote, burnt in a day than actually gets mined, which would mean the supply would actually shrink on a given day when that happens. So, polar opposite of the US dollar. So that's a good use case and a good demand side. So that's one of the reasons people like Ethereum. I'm personally not a huge fan just because it's expensive and slow. But if they do update to Ethereum 2.0, which is the big push, where they're moving their blockchain from a proof of stake to a from proof of work to proof of stake, that will alleviate a lot of the problems that Ethereum has now, but that's still down the road a good chunk. So those are the things I look at. So any cryptocurrency that has smart contracts, I'm already going to take a look at because I know there's a use case. Just because they're launching smart contracts or they have smart contracts doesn't automatically make it a good investment. But they make my list of, all right, I'll take a look. Also, what I like to look at is supply, like how many coins not only are circulating, but how many coins can there be out there, period. Like with Bitcoin, 21 million coins. That's it, right? Finite supply. One of the reasons I like it as a store of value. I look at Bitcoin as a store of value. I treat it as digital gold, and that's the way I hold it. And I feel like it fits perfect to play that role within the digital currency world. Again, my opinion, we'll see. But that's the other thing I look at, how many coins? Because you look at certain projects and it's just like, they'll be like, what was it? There was one coin. I think it might be one of the meme coins. It might be like Shiba Inu or something where like the max supply is something like 100 quadrillion. And I was like, how is that coin ever going to get pushed up in price? Like it's going to be very tough. And obviously it had its little like, meme moonshot. So that's the other big thing I look at. And then, meme leads into, point number 3. I don't invest in meme coins. I will trade them though, because meme coins can get pump and dumps. We've seen it. We saw Doge, Moon, we saw even Shiba go up and multiple other ones. So if I feel like gambling, I'll mess with the meme coins. Now, that's not to say a meme coin can't ever become something, because if a bunch of devs decide that, hey, I want to, turn this into a useful blockchain, then you have that support where you're getting the constant updates. And Doge is something that like sort of fits that. Like if enough people decided that they want Doge to be useful, it could be. It's actually a decent blockchain. It could be used as a transactional coin. But until, there's a use case for it, I'm still going to look at it as a meme coin that you gamble on. So with those, get in early and make your money on the pump, or, hold them and hope that they do turn into actually something useful. But I'd rather just get involved in a project that already has a use case and I know what the end goal is, kind of like you would when you invest in a stock. Like, what does their business do? What am I investing in? Even years ago, like when Uber started, it's like, all right, how's this going to make money? But you still saw what they were doing. Like it was a disruptive technology that had a use case. So, and that's another thing too, when it comes to the use cases, I try and look for the disruptive technologies. So yeah, that's my rant on that. Ace is loaded up on Shiba. Good luck, buddy. Don't worry, I own a little bit too. I had bought some to prove a point, and I proved the point. I bought it, and it was like after everything was mooning, and sure enough, that $50 I threw at it for shits and giggles is probably worth like $9 now. So I sacrificed $40 to prove a point. What else? Caught up on chat. Anyone? Any other questions? Surprisingly, no. Well, this is rare.
What else have you added to the book? I know I've already read it, but
honestly, I added a good chunk. I doubled it in size. So like the Kindle was 21 pages or whatever. The paperback and the updated Kindle is now 50 pages. So it's still a quick read. I call it a booklet. I added what is a smart contract. So exactly, what a smart contract does, what's the point of it, why it's a game changer, and how, it's really going, like, in my opinion, it's going to change the way financial services are done in our country. It creates that trustless environment where you don't need a third party to essentially, be the trusted party and be the, so what I'm looking for, my brain just blanked. Real estate transactions, when you put money in, they hold it in escrow. There you go. Escrow is the word. Yes. You don't really technically wouldn't need an escrow agent. Like everything would just be controlled by the contract, and it's triggered by people converting on whatever that next action is that they're supposed to do. So who knows? You probably still need someone to, I guess, stay on top of everyone to convert on the contract. But it definitely cleans things up. So yeah, small contracts are in there. Like I said, I added how to choose a coin. I touch on DeFi, decentralized finance, which is largely driven by smart contracts. That I kind of just glaze over because that could literally be a book in itself. But I touch on that and talk about how that's changing, how we're doing business in regards to, not only smart contracts, but also being able to, lend directly. Like you literally can now borrow and lend like directly with a person anywhere in the world. You don't have to wait for the bank to approve you. You don't need to, wait X amount of days for funding. It's pretty crazy. And then obviously, Matt, as you know, you have the whole ability to be a market maker on, crypto sites and essentially put up liquidity and earn a nice yield on your crypto as opposed to just holding your crypto and that's it. And, that's popping up a little more mainstream sites like BlockFi that offer like, 5, 6, 7%. Obviously, the smaller, I'm going to call them auto farms, so to speak. They're offering even, much higher yields than that, but, more risk as well. So, but yeah, those are some of the things I added. I'm trying to think. Within the existing chapters, there was some that I added a little more information and explained a little more, but I think that's the gist of it. I feel like there was other chapters, but those are the two I'm remembering. Yeah, DeFi, what crypto is doing.
I'm just trying to I'm just trying to picture how, as you go through life, you go and buy a book one day, you're like, oh, there's an option for crypto. You can buy with your crypto, as opposed to that's, I just trying to picture that down the line, It's
Oh,
like,
that's
oh,
going to happen.
okay.
I mean, the
Yeah,
reality
that's
is
what it is.
those services already existed. Like if I wanted to, I could definitely set that up. I mean, if I was selling like quote unquote selling my book myself, like not through Amazon, I could totally have on my website a way to use, pay with crypto. I mean, well, hell, I could just put my wallet address and make it like that archaic in terms of you send me, whatever, $10 in Bitcoin, I will send you a book. But there's actually already providers. I mean, heck, there's, there's crypto credit cards now. So they're a little more prevalent in the UK, but it's a thing now. In fact, I think it's BlockFi actually that has one. So I think you're going to see that come on and on, more as time goes on. I know Visa is on board. I think they're the ones that sponsor the BlockFi one. So just keeps creeping more and more into our society.
What's your favorite coin right now?
I don't have a favorite theme in my
Matic.
life. I can never pick just one.
Yeah, I bet you it's Matic.
It's not. It is
We're always
not.
talking about Matic.
I don't know my favorite. It might have to be. It might have to be a smaller token just because I have so much of it. It might be. It might be Cub, which is the token on Cub Finance, which is one of those auto farm sites. But no, I like.
thought it was,
I
thought
do
it
like.
was moving to version 2 today. What happened?
That's happening in like 2 hours or an hour.
Okay.
Yes. I like Matic. I like Rune. I'm always going to hold Bitcoin. Like I'm always like, I want to be in the one Bitcoin holder club. So like I have one Bitcoin like stored totally away. I don't even have that staked or anything, which is might be dumb because I could be earning yield on it. But any additional Bitcoin I have earning yield for me. But my one Bitcoin is stored away because when I'm 85 years old, I want to be someone that says, I have one Bitcoin. I'm part of the club. Because there's only 21 million Bitcoin. So I want to make sure I have at least one of those 21 million. As Mike mentioned, Matic, I like. It's the Polygon blockchain, which is somewhat similar to Ethereum, but cheaper and faster. Rune, I like because it's all about interoperability, where you're connecting all the blockchains and you can actually interact with like native Bitcoin on the Rune blockchain, which you can't do with any other blockchain right now. Right now, there's a thing called wrapped coins. And in order to like have like Bitcoin on the Ethereum blockchain, you basically have WBTC. It's a wrapped version. So it's like a derivative. It trades exactly with Bitcoin, but it's not actual Bitcoin. So that's a big thing with it's called Thorchain. And that's what I like about Rune is that they're working on that interoperability. So if you can kind of essentially be a hub to connect all the blockchains, that's a pretty big deal. So I like that. I also like Chainlink. They're called they're called an oracle. Basically, they're connecting blockchain to the real world. So that's another one of those kind of intermediary functions that makes for a good use case and can make that coin possibly worth a lot. Polkadot's another one that does that. So like for the oracles, Polkadot and Chainlink are the two I like best. And then as far as just straight investing on, potential big things, Rune, Matic, I'm holding Bitcoin. Honestly, Ethereum, everyone probably should have in their portfolio, even though I currently don't have any at the moment. I might buy back in since we're dipping. What else do I like? Someone introduced me to Algorand recently. Algo. I actually shorted it and on a trade and made some money, and I'm gonna take those profits to actually buy some Algo long, which is awesome because you got to love free rolls. So yeah, that's kind of the rundown of most of the cryptos that I'm invested in that I'm keeping my eye on. Not investment advice. It is 7:00. With that said, I think we'll call it since we're now at 7:00. Always a pleasure, gentlemen.
Good talking to you.
Same bat time, same bat channel next week. Bring your questions.